I have this contractor I hired who's going to build my building. Imagine you're never going to talk to him at all during the construction process. You just give him drawings and he has to get it. He has to understand everything you're trying to do with the building, right? That's what construction documents are, the construction drawings. Mm-hmm. They give him everything he needs to know from at least your point of view to make the building the way you've designed it.
Yep.
That said, the contractor has his own expertise on the techniques of how to put things together mm-hmm. that architects don't necessarily have because it's not our background or expertise.
Yep.
So there is a little bit of gaps, sometimes between those drawings that we're doing and the contractor's knowledge. Mm-hmm. That's why it's important that there is a supportive conversation such as these drawings.
The construction drawings are to convey the design intent of the building. Now, when we use the words design intent of building, it's a little confusing in a sense within this conversation because it's like, well, I thought design intent was way back during concept design. And that's true, but there's intent and then there's intent, right? The reason why we say construction drawings are meant to convey the design intent of the building is that, again, they don't prescribe the steps to constructing the building. It's not how you make the building. It's just what the building is meant to look like and what goes on the inside, of course, inside of walls and things like this.
Right. The way we draw it is we draw the final result of the building,
yes.
right? The necessary steps and sequencing that the contractor will have to go through to make it happen is his expertise.
And the other thing to understand about CDs that's really important is that they are actually contractual documents. So when we get to construction, the contractor uses these things to build, right? If he builds something that's not in accordance with the design intent conveyed in these drawings, then he has to go back and fix it. So the CDs are very important because they're part of the contract and sort of they are the pictorial portion of it, and you will refer back to them throughout the construction process for typical stuff. And also, should something happen, something goes wrong, there's any kind of legal dispute, we refer back to the drawings to see like, I'm showing you what it was supposed to be. You didn't do that. So do you have to go back and fix it? During construction documentation, again, we're taking the final design in quote from DD, and now we're trying to solve all the technical things. Like what exactly goes inside of the walls? How does this detail work out? How do these two elements fasten to each other? Or how does the foundation work? All this stuff gets finessed and worked out in this phase. And this phase takes longer than all of the previous, okay? So design development was longer than SD, and construction documentation longer than DD.
We're basically trying to plan ahead and save time so when the building gets built, the contractor doesn't have to figure those things out on site.
Yep.
Meaning it saves time and money for the client because it's easier to draw things in a computer and change it than, just build it full scale and take it down because it wasn't thought correctly.
Yeah.
Right. So our role is to kind of look at, put our special glasses on, look at the building from inside and out and see where are the areas that we need to do a clear detail so it's not confusing for the contractor and he understands it right away.
And that's the biggest difference in a way between DD and CD. Roughly speaking, is CDs were really, really invested in how all this stuff gets put together or the composition in the end. Final thing with the CDs is that you can think of it as the bridge between design and construction, right? Everything before CDs, meaning concept designs, schematic design, design development, is generally speaking more focused on design, we could say, and the construction documentation. Now we're bridging the gap between design and then finally construction. As it might have been mentioned, the construction document set is also used for pricing for when you're selecting a contractor, which brings us neatly to the next step, which is contractor selection.